Hello everyone, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you are watching this, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, everyone, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And it's the Empress. And I knew it was going to be the Empress. Before I even turned the camera on, I was shuffling. I just said, I bet you it's going to be the Empress. I said that to myself. I said, self, it's going to be the Empress. And here we go. The Empress is kind of asking us the question, what is it that we're taking care of? You know, how are we using our energy to nurture and nourish? The last sort of collective reading we did, it was all about the Hierophant, right? And how we're sort of helping to build a better world for ourselves and for our loved ones and for everyone, right? Sort of extrapolating out. And now this card is really about how we're sort of taking care of that. Now that we've built it, we've got to maintain it, right? So I think you're someone who is very, very nurturing, okay? You might be taking care of pets, plants, or people. Taking care of yourself, maybe this is self-care, right? It's kind of like the more care we give something, the more likely it is going to thrive, right? The more care we put into our business, the more it's probably going to do well and it's going to reward us. You know, that it's going to take care of us, right? It's kind of like we take care of a cow and the cow gives us milk, if you're into that sort of thing. I drink soy milk. Maybe it's soybeans, right? Or almond milk. We drink almond milk. Or cashew milk is good too sometimes. But it's the idea that we're sort of putting our energy into something and it's returning that. It's sort of, we're investing in it and it's investing in us. And it's a symbiotic sort of relationship with our lives, you know, and the things in our lives. Maybe this is really about us being sort of selfless caregivers, not expecting anything in return. You know, we take care of our cats here and not expecting anything in return from them. Just want to see them happy. I want to see them play and eat and sleep. And it's when I walk in the bedroom and they're just curled up on the bed in the blankets, it just warms my heart, makes me a little jealous too. But it's that kind of the approach to things. We're not expecting anything in return, but the Empress is saying that life supports life, you know, and that if we put our energy into things, we're going to be supported too. Okay. The Empress is an energy where the more we put into something, the more we're going to get out of it. Even if it's just the satisfaction we get out of it. You know, that we put in a lot of time and money and energy into something, and it's just the satisfaction of a job well done. It's just just that good feeling that we get, knowing that we're helping something else, or enabling something, encouraging something else to thrive. You know, in some ways, this card is also the feeling that we get when we help someone, or when we give to charity, or when we have something that we can share with somebody else, and watching somebody else be happy. You know, you ever watch somebody else really enjoy themselves? You know, when I look at my daughter, my wife and I, we've got a 4-year-old daughter. Most of you know that. There's nothing greater in the world than me watching her have fun, or watching her enjoy something, and just that pure expression of joy on her face. Really, there's nothing better than that, you know. So let's put this card in some context. What are we taking care of? What are we being of service to? And this really is it's so interesting how closely tied in it is with our last card, that Hierophant energy. So we have the Empress, we've got a fixed air energy with the Prince of Swords. We have the Sun card. We've got the Devil. Interesting. We've got an Ace of Wands. We've got a... We've got a Princess of Pentacles, and I've been loving the relationship between these two, the Empress and the Princess of Pentacles, because to me, the Princess of Pentacles has an energy of a stark, barren sort of landscape. It's the dead of winter. Nothing's growing. There's no life here. There's no greenery, right? There's no verdant energy here. It's not growing yet, right? Maybe it's latent. It's under the surface. But it's sort of sterile and barren, right? Of course, our Empress then is the return of all of that growth. Yeah. And so this kind of feels to me like it's a transition from perhaps one thriving thing that you've given your attention to, and now we're sort of looking for the next thing, right? That we're ready to sort of move into winter and consolidate our energy, maybe to restore ourselves before we find sort of the next project. This could, maybe you're one of these people that like to take old furniture and refurbish it, renovate it, right? Upcycle things. Maybe you're someone that likes to, I don't know, like flip real estate or something, flip houses, I don't know. But I feel like there is that kind of renovating kind of energy for you, or the restoration of something. And I wonder if this really is about, a little trick of the camera there, if this is about you finding the next thing for your energy to be put into. Okay, it's kind of like we love our garden, but now, we're ready for winter, and we're ready for then spring to come again. It's time to plant everything again. Like that's the cycle of things. Maybe it's the process that we like, right? Here's the Three of Wands, the Star card, very nice. A Ten of Cups, yes, and the Three of Pentacles. Even the Ten of Cups in this position shows that we don't like to be ever really at the end completely satisfied and fulfilled, that there's always this desire, maybe need. There's always this impulse to find the next thing that we can take care of. Like you're somebody that will foster a cat or any animal, and then once it's sort of, you foster it, and then you find it a home, and it's just like, I need my next foster cat, That we like to plant the seed and water it and nurture it and watch the little sprout and watch it grow and big, and then we'll transplant it, we'll put it out in the yard, but then we're going to do the next one, Like it's always this sort of a beginning. It's this cycle, and we even have the Sun card here showing the cycle of the seasons, that we're going from, let's say, spring and summer to autumn and winter, right? And then back again. And maybe our Prince of Swords here is you trying to figure out what is the next thing that you can devote your caregiving energy to. What is the next thing for you to plant and nourish and nurture and enable it to grow? See, we're not growing it. I don't grow the plant, It's growing itself. I'm just helping to give it the best chances and to try to create the best conditions for it, right? So I feel that you're sort of in that liminal phase right now. You're sort of in between things, or you're starting to think about what the next project is, really. Yeah. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right over here. We're going to put our little sea turtle friend right on top. I feel like it's going to be an emperor. Not the sea turtle, but the card. If you have a name for the sea turtle, let me know. Give me some ideas down in the comments. If you have a prediction for that card, put it down in the comments too. Let's work together, right? Let's use our intuition. That card's going to tie everything together at the end. It's going to give us our conclusion and our confirmation at the end of the reading. All right. Now let's take a look around the room again. We have some major arcana. We have that devil energy, we have that empress, we have the sun, we've got the star, and we've got you kind of trying to make heads or tails of it all here with our our fixed air energy, the Prince of Swords. I think it's trying to sort of stay in the present moment. It's almost saying, let's reap the rewards of what we're doing now. Let's not worry too much about what's coming next, right? But this is also a card that's saying maybe we're planning right now for what we're going to do in the winter, right? And here we're in the we're getting started into autumn, and my wife and I are starting to think, okay, well, what are we going to do for winter? Let's stock up on water. Let's stock up on some food and stuff. And maybe it's going to be a lot of snow this winter. We gotta see. Do we have to trim some of our bushes back? Do we have to bring some of our plants inside? Like, what do we need to do to sort of get ready for for that winter time? And so maybe the Prince of Swords is us actively planning in the present moment for what we know is going to be, perhaps a bit of a lean season, okay? But I think that the devil energy is very good because it does show that there is this ambition, that there is this driving force, that we want to make a difference. We want to be of service. We want to participate. We want to have something to take care of and something to nurture and nourish. And maybe the Princess of Pentacles is like we're already thinking about our next project, the next foster animal, the next sort of big project around the house, or the next whatever it might be, right? And it could be all sorts of things. And of course, we have the Star card and we've got the Sun card. They're both stars. I'm pretty sure you knew that. But the Sun card underneath the surface, I think this is you realizing that this is really an essential part of who you are. We have this card also kind of side by side with our Three of Wands, right? It's an identification. It's sort of like you really feel like you're being your very best self. You feel like this is what you have to offer, that you're good at taking care of things. You're good at sort of, I don't know, maybe you work in healthcare, maybe you're a nurse or something, or a doctor, a medical assistant, whatever, all sorts of things, phlebotomist. But it feels as if taking care of something is a very rewarding practice, and we all do it to some degree. We're either taking care of ourselves or our business or our house or our life or our garden or our kids or our families, or, and they kind of take care of us too, And when we're talking about the cats, like, we take care of the cats and they don't really owe us anything, but in a way they do return the favor. They do take care of us too. If I'm ever feeling down, the cat's going to come over and curl up on my lap, and it's going to feel good. So they do take care of us just as much as we take care of them. We just have to be receptive to that, But I think the Sun down here is the realization that this is something that really does matter to you. And it's kind of like, I found who I am. I found what I'm supposed to do, And I think this reading is just as much for me as it is for you. I'm part of this collective, right? I've always known that taking care of things was a very important part of my energy. It was something that I deeply identified with as part of my nature. The star out here in the environment, in this position, is asking us who are we and where we're going. The Sun is the answer to the question, okay? The Sun is showing us who we are and where we're going. So asked and answered. And I feel like it's starting to happen inside of you. You're starting to have this growing awareness. The light is sort of dawning. The realization is kind of that slow aha moment. And I've always had this idea that I like to take care of things. I've always had animals. I tried gardening and stuff, and I was just bad at it. I was an EMT for a short period of time, right? So I like that. I like knowing that I'm contributing to somebody else's happiness or well-being or their sense of safety. I want to be a positive influence in people's lives in some way, right? And that's what I liked about the EMT stuff, was that you kind of you're meeting people and they're usually not a very good day of their life, right? but you're doing something, even if it's just the way you talk to people, the rapport, even if it's just being kind or being civil to each other. Or something bigger, that you're actually helping somebody in some way. You're actively doing something that makes their life just a little bit easier. It's a good feeling, you know? And I think this is that growing realization that it's part of who I am. It's part of my identity. I never thought that I'd be a dad. Here I am, a dad, 4-year dad. But it's something that I always figured I've always been good with kids, always been good with animals, you know, never met a dog that didn't like me, you know. You know, I feel like you're that way too. Okay, I'm not just trying to make this about me. I feel like this is something that we're all getting in touch with in our energies right now. Okay? Of course, going into the background with this devil energy, there's a way to turn this identification or this feeling of our energy into sort of, I don't know, productive ambition, or to realize that we can direct this up a mountain. You know, the devil energy is that that goat, that mountain goat, that you put it in front of any mountain, it's going to climb the mountain all the way to the top. So this is really about us recognizing this part of ourselves. And the devil card is then thinking, what can I do to utilize that part of myself? Whether it's animals or people or medicine or plants, gardening, whether it's sort of renovating, fixing up a house, taking care of. Maybe it's just the way you feel cleaning the house, you know, like you're taking care of things. Okay? It doesn't have to be an obvious, literal way. Okay? But the devil energy is that driving force we have to be of service, to make a difference in the world, to somehow have a role to play in this life, to make a difference somewhere, even if it's just smiling at a stranger, waving at a car passing by or something, or holding the door for somebody, or just not being rude to people, you know. You think of all the people we talk to in a day, and a lot of those people have probably talked to a lot of rude people in that day, right? So, and then when you're calling the customer service line, or when you're the next in line at the coffee shop or the grocery store, if you have your general pleasant, warm energy that I know you have, that's going to make a huge difference in that person's day. You know, just having that little brief, pleasant exchange of energy is contributing to their good day. Now, maybe they've already had a really blessed day. Well, you're adding on to that just a little bit, you know, and it doesn't cost us anything. But I like the devil card, especially as your driving force, and especially in the background here of the reading, right? Because it's one thing to know this is true about yourself, to have the awareness of these energies. It's another thing to try to put it into some sort of practical use. And now we have the idea, right? We've got that Ace of Wands. I think you're looking for a new way to sort of express this growing realization of who you are and what your energy is, right? That if you are this empress, or you are this, you know, you're looking for new ways that you can take something, Princess of Wands, and help it to grow into an empress. Again, you're not the one growing the plants, you're just creating the conditions that are going to be sort of optimal for that growth. Now, maybe you're taking an old piece of furniture and you're redoing it, painting it, sanding it, whatever, right? Maybe you're an artist. You know, maybe you're taking a block of wood and you're, bringing out the beauty through carving away some of the excess wood until that beautiful sculpture emerges. Or you're taking the blank canvas and you're taking whatever energy is around you at the moment and in you, and you're sort of, you're not painting a picture on the canvas. You're helping to sort of chisel away at those blank spots so that the beauty can emerge from that canvas, you know? And that's kind of the attitude or the energy. But I feel with the ace here, you're looking for the next thing. And I wonder if you have an idea now already of what mountain this goat's going to climb next, which environment or which project or whatever this is going to be. You know, because we're going from Empress to Princess of Pentacles. It's not the other way around. So I think you got your eye on the next one now. Yeah. And that's going to take us over here to the path of the serpent. And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything, supports the channel. I appreciate that. I have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. You can check me out over there too. If you'd like, I would appreciate that. The Three of Wands really is that identification. And this, I feel like you're kind of an entrepreneur too. I feel like this is like you love to have these new ideas. You love to, maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you do something with real estate, or maybe you're some sort of an investor or a banker of some kind. Because I feel that you kind of, you're able to sort of take on these really big projects, or you're like making these really big moves, or like you're okay with a lot of risk or something, you know? And I think it's because you really feel the correctness. You identify so strongly with this part of you. Like, you know this is your skill. You know this is your talent. You know you're good at this. And you're just going to keep doing it, you know? And you're willing to put in all of your effort and energy into something. This is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, right? And I think it really is going to work for you. I think it really is going to pay off. So not only do we have the Three of Wands, we have the Three of Pentacles too. Fire to earth, manifesting, right? It's that electrical circuit of creation. It's a direct conversion of energy into matter. You're able to get results, right? That what you put your effort into, because it is righteous, and I say righteous in the sense of it conforms with what you know to be true about yourself. It is a righteous intention. It is going to work, right? And it's a 3, so it's still in potential. So to me, it's kind of saying like you already are considering your next project, and you know what it's going to be. You know that it's going to work, and you're already like, you know, things are already in motion for that. I think, you know, kind of like we're getting the next one started while we're finishing up the current thing. Yeah. And the star card, of course, in the environment is, it is through our relationships with the external world that we come to learn who we are and why we're here. Because we could have that realization in a vacuum, in the privacy of our own home. You know, we can ask those questions and we can get a realization. We can get an enlightenment. But it's only when we go out into the world and we actually start following that path that we realize and actualize that energy. Taking it from potential to kinetic, to something real, from fire to earth, right? From intention to implementation, will to action. It makes it more tangible, right? This is that card that, there's 2 phases to the star card. The first phase is when we accept the light into our lives. That light, that spiritual light of awareness, consciousness, is going to show us where our buttons are. It's going to show us where our knots of karma are, where our weak spots, where our sore spots are, right? Those buttons that get pushed. And if we allow that light in, if we allow the conscious light of awareness to show us those things, we can start working on them. And as we start working on them, we start to get the answer to the question, who am I? What am I made of? Right? That's where we're realizing our inner empress. And then the second phase is that light starts to spill out from us, that it's projecting from us now onto the world around us. So we're able to share who we are and can use it to connect with the world around us. It sort of illuminates our path, shows us where we should be putting our energy, shows us what step to take and what's coming next and what things we need to be involved with. Gives us a sense of direction. We're navigating by starlight here. Okay. And this card happens to be in your environment. So I think that this is really that phase 2, where you're out there in the environment connecting with what you're supposed to be connecting with. It is through your interactions with other people that you are going to discover your buttons, and then you're going to discover your path and your purpose, and have that sense of direction. It can happen theoretically, again, in the privacy of your own home, in a vacuum, but it's not till we really get out into the world and start interacting with people. And you think about it, it's through your interactions with other people that your buttons get pushed. And when they get pushed, we can either just react unconsciously like a robot, or we could say, wow, Spirit just showed me one of my buttons. Now I know it's there, I can work on it, right? And that's going to help me improve my relationships with other people, right? And with other things too, with everything, with the world itself. The Ten of Cups in the position of what you don't want, which is interesting. Because when we're over here, we don't want the finish line. We don't want the ending. We like the beginnings, right? It's kind of like we don't like it when the kitten that we fostered is sort of has grown up a little bit. Now it's time to give them away, or to find them the right home, right? If that's what you're doing. What we like is the beginning. We like when we just get that kitten and we have to take care of it, nurture it, and feed it from the little bottle. I used to do that. And we like to watch it grow up and help it to grow. Give it the right, loving, supportive environment. It does something for us, and we're doing something for it. And then, of course, that comes to a sort of a culmination. Because you can't keep, you can, I guess, and I've had friends that do that. They keep fostering more and more and more cats until they have I know people that got like 10 cats. And more, right? And it's because of that, we don't like to reach the end of that process. But could you imagine if you were an artist and you kept painting pictures and you just kept them all in your room? You've got to give them away. You've got to sell them. You've got to give them to friends. Or what some artists do, I found, is that they'll paint something and they'll just trash it. They'll burn it. They'll throw it away. Because it's not even about that. It's about the process. It's about the beginning, and it's about having that essence come forth from you. So it makes sense that our Ten of Cups is in the position of what we don't want. But it's here, and we realize that we need that. We need to experience the joy and satisfaction of having accomplished this before we move on to the next thing, fire to earth, the next project, right? So it's kind of like don't cut it short, or don't deny yourself the satisfaction of having finished this or completed this. And yes, maybe you're going to just throw your painting away or burn it or whatever. But at least give yourself a moment to feel the fullness of it, to feel the satisfaction, right? And then, of course, the Three of Pentacles at the end, we're getting right back to it. We're getting the ball rolling again on something else, because that's where we want it. That's our contribution to the world. Yeah. Let's look at this mystery card. I'm still kind of thinking Emperor here. Yeah. Maybe it's going to be the Empress again. That would be kind of interesting. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. A Six of Wands, yes. The Six of Wands is victory. The Six of Wands is sort of that pride, the satisfaction that says, I did it. We did it. It's victory after struggle, okay? It's success after strife. It's all the hard work and then the satisfaction that comes with overcoming the challenges, right? So it really is that idea of having taken a Princess of Pentacles and you've done whatever your sort of contribution is to help bring about that Empress energy. And then it feels that we are sort of involved in the world. See, this isn't a lone ranger here. This isn't just a win for you. This is something that is involving everybody else. This is the card that's very connected. It's a card of victory, sure, but it's a team effort. you know? So we're sort of collectively raising the bar. We're collectively raising the consciousness, you know? Very interesting how this all connects with our last collective reading with the Hierophant. Yeah. This is a lot of harmony here. A lot of harmony. And I think this is very blessed energy, you know. We're going to do a quick extended reading too if you want to stick around for that. There's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for your sign, all right, are twice per week. So you've got to go to the channel page and see your sign and what days of the week they're going to be released on. Okay, and those are the days. So expect them on those days. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Subscribe over to Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Also, my wife, Lenore, she does tea leaf readings over at Ula Tea Leaf Readings here on YouTube. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.